Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Pokemon Mystery Dungeons and Dragons C-Team. In our last episode, whatever they want to call themselves, decided to go through Fatima's little door, the upright tower, where it turns out that her, not dead boyfriend and this. Who am I getting feedback from?
No one currently.
Oh.
What?
I heard. Never mind. Anyways, it turned out her boyfriend in this universe was alive while she was the one who died. And we learned that Fatima's also a necromancer.
Which we all kind of suspected from the beginning.
Oh, and she also sold an orb, which Lee is pissed at.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Because, raising skeletal abominations, no, that's fine. Selling an orb, no, that's punishable by death.
You need the whole collection, man.
I mean, to be fair, we don't really know she's raised like skeletal thralls yet. Just like
I think she explicitly said that she did.
I mean,
Upon getting slightly through the tower, a mysterious voice called to them, telling them to GTFO or there would be consequences. The crew decided to ignore this voice and climb the tower anyways, so in order to make sure that fate was not changed, the boy sent in an undead Carcosta and an undead Bastiodon!
there was a voice telling. Sorry.
To try and stall them. Through some smart planning, they managed to circumvent the voice just in time to reach the top and stop Mateo from sacrificing the lives of 3 Pokemon in order to fully revive his version of Fatima, and they had to fight Elemental Zygarde, which they handily sent into rubble. And after giving a fond farewell between Fatima and Mateo, they went
Don't
back
forget the wedding.
and a questionable wedding. They returned back to the main lobby to find that they ended up with creepypasta.
But we didn't really mind that much.
In which point, Leon, the Kecleon, told them that they ended up in the same world as one of the previous people who went through the Trial of Miracles, Leon, who was an Eevee at the time, spelled with a Y, who doesn't like the fact that they're going world hopping and has decided to basically erase what they've done through each of the worlds. So now they have Leon waiting for them at the end of one of the card doors, the Reverse Death Arcana. And they opened up another door to find themselves with the Upright Justice, and that is where we will begin.
Oh, lordy.
So, what do you want to do?
Unless anyone's got any objections, let's just head in, see where this adventure goes.
So, are we going to the moon or are we going to the Justice?
Justice.
Looks like title. Okay, Justice. Okay.
This is kind of made for us in advance, to be honest.
And I expect through these doors we get at least one Ace Attorney reference.
Objection.
So, oh my gosh. So, you open the door. I guess we're just jumping right into it.
Yeah.
I hold it.
I mean, unless there's some interaction we want to get done, we might as well. Yeah, whatever you guys say.
Yeah. So, anyways, you open the door, go through the blinding light, and when you reach the other side, you see a hill with a large tree on top of it. And on top of that hill, you see an Aegislash sort of using one of its, not really hands, but that sort of scarfish cloth hand thing.
Yeah.
It's holding on to a Mincino at the top of the hill.
Okay, this sounds bad. This sounds. But how's it holding it? Is it like with one hand about to eat it, or?
Is there like a cliff on the other side of it, the hill that we aren't seeing?
From your vantage point, you can't really see what's on the other side of the cliff. All you can see is that there's a tree on top of it, Mincino, and an Aegislash.
Okay, there is definitely cliff because it's repeated. Okay, moving on.
He will eat the thing. I mean, I suppose Lee could. I suppose Lee could reach there the fastest out of all.
Depending on how far away we are.
You're barely any distance. You're like 30 feet at most.
I can't run 30 feet.
Lee
Well-
can.
Well, before we do any,
I can't. Sorry.
before we do anything, I remember specifically one of the aspects of the justice door was analysis. So I know this looks, but
Okay, so I'm going to analyze the situation here. Can I have Lee do an insight check to see if there's any, hostility between the two? Is the Mincino in any danger, or is it just holding on to it?
Okay, give me an insight check.
All right, let's see if my roll has any bearing here, or my pre-game
Oh, boy.
roll.
Okay, with that roll, you can see that. Well, you can tell that there's not really hostility, so to speak, but more with that roll, and from what you've seen, it almost looks like the Aegislash is sort of arresting this Mincino.
Okay.
Okay, does Lee convey this information to the body, or he just sees things?
He's not quite sure exactly what to make of it. I guess he'll say, I can't really tell if there's any animosity between them. I guess it kind of looks like it's arresting it, but should we intervene?
Well, if it's about arresting, I guess I could get us more information. I don't know if it has any official value in this universe, but might as well try. She says as she slowly reaches for her rescue team badge and slowly approaches the two.
Okay. Oh, you're approaching them?
Yes, I can't come. I can't get any information without getting any closer. I'll get as close as I like.
Okay. Is just Fatima approaching?
I was about to say Lee was going to stick behind her just in case something happens, but given what just transpired, I think he's going to hang back.
Okay. Anyone else?
No, Sena would follow Fatima.
I think Augie might just hang back as well.
Okay, so the ladies are heading forward while the guys are hanging back. Gotcha.
Wow, that is very gentleman of you, boys.
Ladies first.
Listen, we're not the diplomatic ones. We're the guys that swing big sticks and solve problems that way.
Well, yeah, I suppose a quarterstaff.
Only my stick is like sharp.
Anyway, so Fatima, you as you approach, the Aegislash has used both of his scars and sort of is handcuffing the Machino's hands behind his back, and he eventually notices you, and he says, "Well, it's about time you got here."
Is it? What's going on?
Lee
You're
moves
the-
up as soon as he hears that.
Yeah, and you guys, this Aegis Slash is loud and boisterous, so you easily hear it. You're the team of investigators we sent for, aren't you?
I'm gonna guess the message. I'm gonna guess the message spell on Sen. I'm going on like, okay, so this is the Emperor door all over again. How do we proceed?
You showed your badge, you must be, right?
Thief! What's the problem, officer? She would say just with a defeated sigh of, oh, I freaking hate this game.
Fatima's just going to scream internally through message going on like, Sena, you're the face, do thing.
You know I can't think of nothing.
For the love of yes,
Yeah, we're who
yes,
you called for.
yes,
What's
it is.
what's the problem, officer? She will just.
Yes,
Well,
we'll just call here.
I'm
we'll just
glad
call here.
you asked. You see, this young sprightly fellow decided he wanted to throw away his future. And the Machino says, "I told you I didn't do it." Ha ha ha, of course you did. You see, and it's a little bit of a sensitive topic, but this Machino committed a murder!
As
If it was
the
nice.
Sena would give a small glance to Fatima. It's like.
she isn't really phased by this. More so, she simply asks,
She's just wondering where
What?
the body is.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
"Yeah, where the body at?"
Fatima going directly to the morgue. Okay, noted.
Nah, Fatima isn't really phased, but more so like, okay, and what are so these are the charges presented against him, but what are the proof?
Well, first off, Machino says, "No, I didn't." But the Aegis Slash just brushes him off and says, "Well, you see," sorry. Well, you see, last night, way later than anybody should have came out, this Machino brought a Glamio to our schoolyard up in the town over there. And he sort of points, and across the hill you can see a small town, sort of a village. And he continues, and they got in a bit of scuffle there where the Machino stabbed the Glamio. Nope. Okay, yes, we fought, but I didn't do that.
Okay, guys, one on one. So what you're saying is that this Michino is being accused of murdering a Glamio.
Correct. In fact, and he pulls out this sort of white thing that kind of vaguely looks like an iron thorn, but as you're aware of, those of you who handle, which I think is almost all of you, you're aware that iron thorns are typically made from black metal and aren't white. But he pulls this out and he says, "Yes, and this iron thorn is what this Machino used to stab him."
Does the quote unquote iron thorn look clean? Or is it bloodied?
It is bloodied.
Okay.
And what about the Minchino's hand?
Are they
You
blooded?
the Minchino's hands are not. He does have some blood on his sort of chest fur, but not a lot, and his hands are clean.
Okay then. All right. Let's see what else to ask. Were there any witness to this crime?
There was not no.
Hmm. So he's accused of murdering a Pokemon, and the only proof that is supporting the only evidence supporting these statements are the weapon, then the fact that both it and the Minchino have blood on them. Is that correct?
Indeed, though it's not correct to say there were no witnesses. There were a couple who noticed the two of them walking to school last night, so we know they were both there at the time.
And that
Where
is all
was
they
the
saw.
murder weapon found?
What'd you say?
Where was the murder weapon found?
The murder weapon was found in the Glamiel's back.
Okay.
Did you take prints?
Prince?
Yeah, like did you dust for paw prints or anything like that?
Mm-hmm.
I've heard of a Diglett that is really good with that.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, never mind. Thank you, Mister. I'm sorry. I'm afraid I didn't got your name.
My name is Justice!
Of course.
Well, thank you, Mister Justice. If you will perhaps leave us a moment with the
Suspect?
yes, if you would leave us a moment with the suspect, we'd like to ask him a few questions, if possible. You know, just to make sure we got everything under control.
Very well, though I must stay here to make sure the suspect doesn't get away.
Fair enough.
So what do you guys want?
Well, guys, I'm going since we're going all full reference with this. I'm gonna Azina Sykes the heck out of this. I'm gonna be using my bonus action constantly to use I think it was detect emotions. It's a Ralts thing. Basically, I can detect the emotions of everyone around me, everyone within 15 feet of me.
Okay, so you're Apolloine.
Let me check how that works
Yeah, I
as
think
soon as this thing loads. And yes, as Crow pointed out, by the way, for those like yes, the small village is Serene Village.
I had a feeling.
Yeah. I mean, it was obvious with a big hill, with a big tree on the top, and a small village with a school. Like, it was obvious. Sorry.
yeah, we could tell.
Anyways, detect emotions.
Do you detect the emotions of everyone or
You
just
can
the
feel
target?
the emotions of every living creature within 15.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, she's detecting that Lee is extraordinarily nervous.
Okay.
Nice.
Am I picking up something else from my other partners and possibly Justice?
You're not picking up much aside from smug sort of I have solved a case feeling. Sort of like a smug satisfaction from Justice, but from the Minchino you sense sort of a combination of fear and resignation.
Okay then. Well, I'm gonna start the interrogation and For every question that I ask, I'm going to spend my bonus action to detect if there's any changes in his emotions.
Okay.
Oh boy. Okay, here we go. All right. So Fatima's going to approach the machine and go like, "All right. First things first. What is your name?"
Curtis.
Curtis. Okay. I want you to tell me exactly what is that happened last night.
It's okay. So Kyle, he's the Glamia. We don't exactly get along. Like I wouldn't murder him, but we don't exactly get along. And so I wanted to try and talk with him at the school when we were both alone. So he agreed, and we went to the school and chatted. And well, while we were chatting, we didn't really get anywhere. We both sort of just started yelling at each other. And then I pushed him, he shoved me, and I sort of just blacked out. I don't
Okay.
know what happened.
No changes in his emotions, right?
So as he's saying this, you said we're going all mood matrix with this.
Yeah.
As you go through, you still sense the overwhelming presence of fear. When he talked about Kyle, you sensed anger, and when he talked about how they sort of shoved each other, you sensed fear, but you sense a sort of different fear. Like it's more powerful, but
All right.
different.
Okay.
Different than his current fear.
All right. Then let's see.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to explain.
Okay,
Sure.
I'm going to press it. So, what did you guys wanted to talk about?
It's none of your business.
Please.
Any changes or?
You sense a combination of embarrassment and anger.
Look, Curtis, I get that this is probably some sort of private matter, especially if you had to discuss this sort of thing in private on school during nighttime. But I'm pretty sure that you're aware of what risk what risk you are right now. So the more information you give to us, the better we can help you.
Give me a persuasion check.
I knew I should.
Yeah.
Freak, I didn't notice.
Wow, I
Well,
was trying to make the question so I should roll.
Sorry, Fatima's the one who's trying to persuade. So Fatima, give me the check.
Oh, God
I mean,
damn
Santa
it.
could help.
You could help.
Yeah, too late. You're making the check now.
Oh, God damn it.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, he looks at himself for a few seconds and just says, "It's personal. It's not related. Don't worry. I doubt it has anything to do with what happened or something. I don't know. It's stupid. Okay.
Well,
Point is we talked and I pushed him, and then when I woke up, he had that thing in his back, and I just ran away. I wasn't sure what happened. I don't know what killed him. I didn't have anything to do with it, I swear."
any changes in his emotions or just overall same fear?
Sort of, right now it's back to sort of being the fear of the fact that he's caught and resignation, though the anger is subdued and mostly gone.
Right.
not helping your case by not telling us what you were doing there. You know that, right?
Yeah, I know. Listen, certain Pokemon can be tough to deal with. I just encountered a Purloin that was really getting on my nerves. But
Not talking here for a second, but he kind of gets on a lot of people's nerves.
He has a charisma of 8, of course he does.
but listen, we aren't going to judge you. We aren't going to tell you anything. But really, if you want us to take you out of here, you need to trust us until every little detail helps. It doesn't matter if you think it's useful or not. Every little detail helps. Okay?
Frick, I'll let you make one more, but if you not going to, then he's just not going to tell you.
I believe in you, magician. I believe in you.
Remember that a 16 failed, so
Jesus.
Okay.
Oh God,
I tried.
damn it.
I tried. I can recur to another tactics.
There was an attempt.
That was an attempt.
I told you it's personal and it's unrelated. Just don't ask about that again. It doesn't matter. Frankly, if you guys don't do it, it doesn't even matter either. I know nobody's gonna believe me, so might as well just
Why is
get
that?
this over. I told you we didn't exactly get along, so of course the troublemaker is going to. Of course, the village troublemaker wouldn't hesitate to kill someone who he doesn't like, because I'd totally be willing to do something like that.
Is there anyone else you can think of who would have wanted to do this?
Probably not. I don't know, and I don't know anybody who has that dagger thing he's holding.
So it isn't familiar to you, correct?
No, not at all. That doesn't even look like an iron thorn.
No,
Looks
it
like-
does not.
Looks like, I don't know, some kind of... let me actually roll. Okay, with that roll, he says, it looks like, I don't know, it doesn't even look metallic.
Okay, let's see. What are the chances of this here?
So
Sorry. Detective Justice said that there were 2 witnesses. Do you maybe know who is he talking about?
I said that there were a couple of witnesses, not 2.
Oh, right. Sorry, my bad.
A couple means 2, idiot. Is what the Minchino said.
Yeah. Right.
Anyways, the witnesses just saw me going there. They didn't see what happened there. They just saw me going there.
And they didn't see anything else.
No, as far as I know, nobody was there.
What about? I know you didn't get along well with this Kyle, but do you have any other guys that you have been having problems lately?
Try pretty much everybody. I said before, I'm the village troublemaker.
Well, I mean, when you put it that way.
Kyle's the only one who I really didn't get along with, but nobody me here. That's why I'm in this mess in the first place.
Well, I'm gonna cast a message spell on the cast, and on the team, one by one, and say, well, I don't think we're gonna get any information out of this little guy. So how about he asks Mr. Justice to check the crime scene? Maybe the body's still there. Maybe I can check some other stuff. I'm kind of
maybe I could do something, but
A body,
look,
you say?
I've experience regarding wounds. Okay.
I mean, we're not gonna blame you, but like,
If only she had speak with dead.
If
Yeah,
only
no,
we
that's a
had
better
ton of
thing.
truth, it would be over like in 0 seconds.
I mean, I sort of had an idea, but because of how skeletons work, I'm afraid I can't do that.
Skellies can't talk.
They can talk and they can follow simple orders, but I don't think they remember anything from their past lives.
nothing I've seen from it indicates they can.
Yeah, basically they're puppets. They're soulless. So
Lee's gonna take a deep breath and say, "Hey, officer, can I take a closer look at that thing that you found in the Glammy House back?"
Are you planning on committing a murder with it too?
No, I want to try to figure out what it is.
Oh, well, it's an iron Thor, dummy, but here you go. And he hands it to you.
Lee's going to be very careful not to touch the blood, and he's going to have a closer look at it to see if he can figure out what it is.
Okay, give me a nature check.
This is going to be good, but
Can I have my own Iron Thorn to compare it?
Yeah, you can pull out your own iron, compare it,
Okay.
but you're still giving me a nature check, and it's still gonna be. Okay, with that roll, you can tell that this is definitely not an iron Thor. In fact, it's as the Minchino said, it's not even metallic. What you could tell is that is a tooth. You're not sure what creature the tooth comes from, but you are fairly certain that it is a tooth.
officer, this is a tooth.
A tooth?
Yeah.
can I have Fatima touch it just to be sure? It's like, oh yeah, this is bone.
I suppose, yeah. I mean, if you actually have Lee let you touch it.
I guess Fatima will approach Lee and go, let me check it.
He holds it down for her.
Alright, I guess she'll inspect it and try to determine what Pokemon could this belong to. Maybe according to the shape, the size,
Okay.
the weight.
Okay, Fatima, I want you to give me two things. I want you to give me a nature, and I want you to give me an arcana.
In that order?
Whichever order you please.
Alright, I guess I'll start with nature.
Full disclosure, Lee doesn't have a +1 modifier. I was looking at the wrong sheet.
Oh,
Oh,
My bad.
that's right. Okay, so that's the nature one. It's a 16. And now the arcana one. Okay.
Okay.
okay. So with the nature, in fact, these both sort of go hand in hand. Okay, so nature check. You know that it is from a dragon. You're not sure which dragon, but you know that this is a tooth from a dragon. And with the Arcana check, you can tell that it is similar to an Iron Thorn in that it's been made and sort of shaped into a dagger-like shape. And it is specifically a weapon for, well, it's both a dragon weapon and a dragon slaying weapon in a way. Basically, this weapon would deal dragon type damage if it were to be used on a dragon.
So it's literally a dragon tooth, like the equipped item to increase
Yeah.
dragon type. Well, okay.
Yes.
It's a worm slayer.
It's a worm slayer made of a worm.
That is what you know from this. That's what you got from this. Totally an Iron
Okay.
Thorn.
Okay, she's gonna inspect it, move it around and such. And as she does, she's gonna ask out loud, Mr. Justice, are there any dragon-type Pokemon in Serene Village as of right now?
You don't know it's Serene Village.
In
In
this
this
village.
village.
Oh, I thought you said Serene Village. Okay. Justice says, dragons? Why would a dragon Pokemon live all the way out in this village?
Why wouldn't it? Does this town have something against dragons or something?
No, not particularly. It's just dragons have bad living in a Blackwater town like this. And, are you still using detective?
I'm detecting emotions, yes, constantly.
Okay, good. Just making sure. You sense a sudden, sharp increase of fear from the Machino.
As I slightly speak, as I get this information, this emotion getting strong, I'm going to slightly turn the Machino, but not directly looking at him. So there's no dragons living in this place, I see.
Nope.
Do you have
Nope.
anything?
Dragons as far as I'm aware.
Do you have anything to add to that, Curtis?
Oh, what? No, there's no dragon villagers as far as I'm aware. No.
Okay, then. She seems kind of nervous that I asked this question, though. Is there anything on your mind that you want to share?
I don't know what you're talking about. And he does seem, as he says this, like, he does seem to genuinely not understand why, but at the same time, you sense a large amount of fear coming from him. Regardless. So, like, basically, if this were a Cyclops, or not if this were a movie segment, basically, you'd be feeling that pulse of emotions, but at the same time, he's not lying, so you imagine that he is subconsciously blocking something, and as per subconscious, he's not aware of it.
Okay, then. In that case, since I'm not gonna get any more information from this guy, I give back the totally an iron thorn to the Aegislash and go like, I think that's all the questions we have for now, Mr. Justice. Could you take us to the crime scene? We'd like to see if we can pick up some clues or new information.
Why, certainly. Just head down the hill, follow that path. You'll need to cross a bridge into the village, and it's on the north side of...
Like about a trip down memory lane.
Now, I know this is probably going to be inconsequential information, but just in case there's any sort of value to that tooth, is it worth anything? Would Lee be able to tell, since, he's kind of got a background in figuring out how much things are worth from stealing them?
I like how you tried to dance around the fact that you were a thief until the last statement.
Based on what Fatima said about it, and based on what you know, weapon like that basically would deal dragon-type damage to a dragon, you imagine that would sell for quite a pretty penny, yes.
Alright, and does this Mincino look like he could afford such a thing?
No.
Okay.
I mean, well, he doesn't have anything on him that suggests any specific sort of monetary state, but you imagine if he's a resident of the village back there, the village doesn't look like a big, fancy, flowing with money village.
Mm-hmm.
So you'd imagine that he probably is not rich.
But he doesn't exactly look like a hobo either.
Yeah, he doesn't look like a hobo either, but he is a teenager, so there's that too.
He's a peasant, that's it.
Alright, that's all I wanted to know.
Okay. So are you going to head down the hill?
Alright guys, it's a turning time. Let's warp to the next scene.
I mean, we technically are doing that because...
Yeah, funny you mention that, because as you walk the path down the hill, you suddenly go through a bright light and you find yourself at the entrance to a school.
So much for sightseeing.
You see within the school, you see a 4x4 placement of desks. You see a whiteboard with no writing on it. And on one of the desks, specifically the one, if we're going sort of left to right, top to bottom, facing the whiteboard, the second from the second from the right and second from the top, you see a outline of you see an outline of a Glamio right behind that desk.
He's been replaced with a chalk outline!
Oh no.
Oh no.
And that is what you outwardly see from this area.
Well, there's no Pokemon in here, right? Like, it's just the four of us.
Yeah, as of right now, there is no next to the, below the outline, by the way, the stained red with blood.
Okay, then. I guess we might as well get to investigate the area, the scene.
We all roll investigation.
Well, what are you exactly investigating?
That's a good question, yes.
Like, what are you investigating, and where are each of you?
I'm trying to find Gartus' desk. Where is it?
You would not know that from just looking.
Yeah, I know.
Like, you see the you don't technically even know if the desk, the chalk outline is behind is Kyle's specifically. It's just where the outline is behind.
Alright.
So where are you guys going? So what are you guys going to investigate and where?
That's a good question, yes. Let's see.
Let's see here. Lee is going to, well, first he's going to look at the outline and see what kind of pose it's in.
It's hard to tell with the outline, but you imagine that they were standing straight up.
So it doesn't exactly look like there's any sign of a struggle.
No.
Alright, and the blood spatter, what kind of pattern is it in?
None particularly. It's just a mess of splatter on the ground.
But it's actually a splatter, it doesn't look like it's slowly drained then.
Oh, that's what you mean. Okay then, yeah, it does look like it was, it does look like it was drained, yes. Or at least blood seeped out onto the ground sort of slowly.
Is the officer with us, or did he stay back there?
He stayed back there.
Gosh darn it.
Okay.
We need an autopsy report.
But then they just update it.
Okay, I'd ask if there's anything else that catches your attention in this scenario, like maybe...
If you're trying to see if there's specific that catches your attention, then give me a overall perception. Otherwise, if you like investigate around the body, investigate like the perimeter of the school or stuff like that, then I'd ask for an investigation.
I guess I'll investigate the perimeter of the school, like the surrounding areas.
Yep.
Okay.
Does a passive perception of 15 get me anything?
No, it does not. You're gonna have to roll.
Okay, I will roll then.
Okay, investigation. Let's go. Yeet.
Okay.
+7 investigation, go. Oh, come on. Parser, why are you doing this to me?
Okay. And I'm going to assume, since they haven't said anything, that Augie and Senna are doing nothing.
Well, sorry, you go first.
Okay. So Senna is trying to. Senna, what it's trying to make is trying to see if there is a point of view of the crime scene, but it's a little bit more advantageous than the normal one.
So, like, you're trying to do what?
Basically, is if there is a higher plane or something like that they could just watch the, because we never saw, we were never confirmed where did the people see both
Oh,
of
no,
them.
they didn't see the crime. They saw the two kids going to the crime scene.
Yeah, from their houses, I suppose, like taking them.
Yeah, from their houses. So there was no, like, nobody saw the crime itself take place.
Okay, so it's hard because I don't want to metagame at all. Saying I want to go there. Go Ryo. I think of something then.
I think Augie, being kind of like the practical guy he would just be sort of checking most of the desks to see if there's anything there. You know, any sort of like leftover items or maybe notes, you know, anything out of the ordinary.
Okay.
Question, if I may, can I say that as she's investigating cool stuff, I might be trying to ritual cast detect magic?
That would require 10 minutes, as I'm sure you're aware.
I'm aware. I guess I might not. Never mind. Maybe
I remember how that went last time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that, and since you're walking around, I don't think you...
I mean, we're not really on a time limit this time, to be fair.
You don't know that.
We don't know that.
So anyway, does my 19 get me anything?
Okay, yes, your 19 gets you something. What you find sort of searching through the desks in a couple seconds. Okay, so, through, sort of giving a gaze around the place, you notice that the, dirt path to sort of the north side of the desks, there's sort of a... Well, not northwest, yeah, northwest, sort of past the blackboard, there's a, patch of dirt just lying there, and you notice that that patch of dirt has been disturbed.
Are there any footprints in it?
You would have to, have to get closer and sort of wipe it around to see if there's any footprints or anything there.
And before
Alright.
we get too close, Doc Trio comes out of nowhere, goes all like, "You have this stuff, the
Okay, so I guess I'll do that then.
Okay.
And before rolling
So
initiative.
you're getting closer. Wow, you really... Okay, anyway. Augie, so as you're, looking through the desks, you see a note that reads this.
Note. Oh.
Ooh, really what I was hoping for.
Well, not a note, but more of a note. A newspaper, sorry.
A note.
Good enough.
Typing intensifies.
Yep. Did you want typing this? Did you think of?
You cut out.
Did you think of anything, magician? Want typing this?
Yeah. Senna would like to try what was the last class about in the whiteboard.
The whiteboard is blank.
Isn't there any trace of chalk or something like that?
Is there some sort of
There is traces of chalk there, but I don't know if you can find some way of figuring out what the.
Because when you sometimes clean the blackboard, that there is you can still sort of figure out what was the last thing that was.
Oh, I
written.
see.
Chalk traces,
Okay.
I think.
Yeah, chalk traces. Give me either a. How do I want to say this? Give me a. Since you're gonna try and look at something that's very faint, give me a perception check.
Well, my perception is better than my investigation, so.
we believe in you, Senna.
We don't.
No!
Wow.
No, you. So
That's-
you look over this chalkboard, and you definitely see that traces of the past class, but you cannot make heads or tails of it. There's too much writing, or it's just hard to see.
Someone must have gotten bored, just sort of wiping the board over and over and over again.
I think I may have an idea, but I'm not sure if it would work. And it's metagaming, so I'm gonna wait for Senna to play this information. Unless I
ain't got nothing.
Well, unless I can have, I don't know, Fatima just check around, find nothing, come back and say any clues. I found nothing.
I tried to look at the blackboard, but I couldn't figure out anything.
Blackboard? What do you mean?
Okay, Augie, you see a piece of note paper that looks like this, and as you sort of brush aside, you see that there is indeed a footprint that looks like this. Only much larger than what the screen shows.
And you said that was Lee that noticed it, right?
Yeah.
Well, it ain't a mince no footprint. I know that.
This is I feel ashamed because as the guy who played EOS, it's the footprint minigame. I should know what this is, but I don't.
I mean, it looks kind of bear-like. That's all I can figure out.
I'm gonna say it's from a Charizard, but that's what my guess is right now. I don't know. Let's see. What else? I suppose Fatima will approach the blackboard and send
Charizard ain't a dragon.
Uh-huh.
It should be.
Whatever. Moving on. I'm
Here's
assuming-
a better image, I hope. Yeah, here's a better image.
Oh yes, all the good chunky pixelness. I love it.
Let me see a side.
But yeah,
Let me select the picture.
I'm going to approach the blackboard that Senna mentioned to see what is it. What is this thing that she says she saw?
Okay, yeah, you look at it and you basically too much writing to really make out.
Okay. I don't know if this will work, but I might as well because I only have one use of it and it's the nichest thing ever. Might as well do it. I'm going to have Fatima touch the blackboard without touching the tracings and cast her once per long rest comprehend languages.
On the blackboard?
Yes.
I was gonna say chalk traces isn't necessarily a language, but
That's
Yeah, see-
not. I'll look up comprehend languages, but
You also understand any written language that you see, but you must be on the surface on which the words are written.
let me look. You understand the literal meaning of any spoken language that you hear. You understand written language, but you must be touching the surface. Takes 1 minute to reach 1 page of text. I don't know. I look at this and I don't really think that this. Yeah, I did.
Oh boy, I'm scared.
Anyways, I'm gonna say that no comprehend languages doesn't really work like that, because it's not like you're looking at a foreign language. It's just there's so much chalk markings and stuff like that. It's been written and erased so often that it's hard to really see.
I guess I might as well just roll investigation maybe to see what this is, because I can't think of any other way to just make it readable other than just squinting my eyes very hard.
That's because it isn't readable.
Oh
That's what I've been saying. It's smudged so much that it isn't readable.
Lord.
Are you sure there isn't an explanation of status effect on there? Or sorry, wrong school.
Oh boy.
Anyways, Lee and Augie, while the girls are staring at this chalkboard, you have all found your things. So what do you want to do with it?
What do I need to do to try to identify it? Because I know what it is, but Lee doesn't.
Well, you're not Rafa, fortunately, but I'd say give me another nature check.
This time I won't add the non-existent modifier. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Nope.
I'm good at nature. Can I try it?
You'd have to go up. You'd have to know it exists and go see it. Which.
Hey guys, come look at this.
There you go.
Okay, you know it exists.
Might as well do the same, I suppose. As I'm being called.
Okay, so Lee calls you over and he points at this footprint. I'm gonna say that only team I can roll for nature.
Everyone roll for nature. Okay.
Did he say everyone? I thought it sounded like he said only Fatima.
I said only Augie and Fatima.
Okay, only Agin.
Okay. Okay, fair enough. Let's see here. D20 plus. There we go.
One big numbers. Yes.
Hey.
Okay, so Augie, you have you've spent a decent amount of time on the grass continent as a mercenary and seen plenty of things. So as you look over this footprint, you are aware that this is the footprint of a salamence.
Oh.
Ah!
Give me 1 second.
Easy.
A salamence, you say? Well,
Okay.
hmm.
I'm slightly ashamed I had to look up salamence just to remind myself what it was.
Okay.
Don't you remember the big boomerang from Omega Ruby?
Oh yeah, that what? Oh,
The flying croissant.
oh, it's all coming together.
Oh yeah, it's all coming together now.
So yeah, you know that it's a salamence. Do you want to convey this information or do anything?
I think after looking back and forth, well, actually, I don't think he would know this. Like not in character. I know that there's a salamence in like Serene Village with that one mission, yada yada yada, but he doesn't. So I feel like I know what's happening, but okay. Sawagi, he'd probably like look at this footprint, and then knowing what he does, looking back at the newspaper, which I'm assuming he took with him, since that's probably important. He looks at it and he kind of has this look that says like he's getting an idea of what happened, and then he says, Okay, I might just. No, I'm not gonna claim I'm smart in any way, but I think I might know what happened here. Maybe at least a little bit.
Go on.
Okay, well, first off, this footprint right here. If I recall correctly, this is a salamence, which is a dragon type.
I
And-
assume that. Okay.
And while I was checking the desk back there, I found this thing, and he's going to show everyone the newspaper he found.
Okay, yep, you all see that newspaper.
And apparently there aren't any real dragon types living in the village that we already discovered. So,
So you think in the middle of the night, while these two were having a discussion, Salamence, well, a wild Salamence swooped in out of nowhere and proceeded to kill or victim?
maybe I don't think I know enough to be certain, but I feel like I know that this is a salamence footprint, and the sword tooth thing we found is made from a dragon's tooth, so I feel like it's relevant at least.
Well, if you're suggesting that the Salamence was the I don't think that's the case. I think it's important and related, but it must have been something else. She's gonna. Well, no.
Is there an entrance to the room that looks large enough that a salamence could get through?
Well, obviously it couldn't have came south because that leads back to the village. But yes, to the northwest you see a sort of large clearing from which you can.
Oh, that's right. Their school isn't indoors; it's an outdoors thing. Never mind.
Yes, it's an outdoor school.
Yeah.
So yes, I mean aside from the sky, if it were from the northwest.
Okay, let's see here. We need to find more clues about this. I don't believe it's the case yet. This seems too simple. What are we gonna do, guys?
Let's give the place one more look over and see if we can't find anything else. If we don't, I guess we could just go back and show Justice what we found, or get teleported to the next place we need to go to. We'll find out.
Do you think there's any other places that we can check other than this school and up the hill?
I mean, both the victim and the subject should have family we should talk about, right?
Well, yeah, but we don't know if we can actually talk to them because of this whole thing.
Well, why don't we just ask Justice if he can give us directions and maybe the path will open. I don't know.
While they're discussing this, Lee's gonna give the room, or well, not room. You know what I mean. A once over to see if there's anything they missed.
The area.
Yeah.
Okay, give me a perception check.
Oh, not 20.
That's some Raz
I
perception
guess we'll
right
know
there.
if there are any clues here or not.
Okay. Well, funny you mentioned that path. Perhaps it's because you saw it. You see that one of the trees on the path, sort of leading north, you see claw marks.
Well, there's claw marks on that tree to the north.
Yeah, right next to that entrance.
I guess Fatima will go up to the trees and try to identify the claw marks.
Are they there's a specific word that I'm thinking of, but I don't remember what it is. Do they correlate to the footprint is what I'm asking.
As far as you know, give me a nature check.
Oh boy. I can't just measure with my paws how far apart the claw marks of the footprint are. And
No, you don't touch the evidence.
I'm not touching it.
I'm
I'm
going
getting
to
my
take
paws
out my
close to it.
iron thorn and compare it because it's technically the same thing, but it isn't. So
Okay. Well, it was the same thing to what you may not assume is a tooth, but
yeah,
still. You look at the. Okay, so you
I'm still gonna roll my nature check.
you use the iron
I know
thorn, sort of. Yes, you know nothing. Sort of look at it and look at sort of how the claw looks, and then you put the iron thorn sort of into the claw marks, and you see that relatively, maybe a bit of margin for error, but it looks like relatively that those claws could be made by this claws on the footprints.
Alright.
I think that's all we're gonna get out of this place, guys.
Yeah, probably. But before we proceed, how much information should we pay to Mr. Justice?
Well,
Uh,
probably everything.
not everything. I think I have an idea how to approach it, but not to Mr. Justice, but to Curtis.
Yeah, I didn't really want to say it at the moment, but that guy kind of seems what's the word? Glory seeking, I think. You know the one, right?
Thrill seeker.
Yeah, like that.
Agreed.
Because he was really afraid of dragons, but he was certain that there wasn't any dragon in the town, but we never asked him what kind of dragons does he know, and if he knows the salamans, maybe he might help us with this case.
I don't know, guys. He seems like I could feel that every time we mention all the dragon matter and such, he was very afraid. Like
Well,
he
we
was-
can at least find out if he knows if there are any dragons around. I mean, if I recall
We
correctly, he
can-
just said there weren't any living in the village. He never said he
Yeah.
didn't know about the surroundings.
That's what I was saying. Yeah, basically we can make a shock therapy, telling different dragon types and how he reacts to each of them.
I suppose. Let's just be pretty careful with it. He seems like he's trying to hide something, but more so subconsciously. So I
All
don't
right,
know
we'll
what
keep
the-
that in mind. Let's
Yeah.
get going.
I think sorry. I think as she says subconsciously, Agi, you see him react to it, but not like he wouldn't like flinch or recoil from it. He just sort of like take note of it, you know.
All right, I think we're gonna head back now.
Okay. You do that. You head back, and as is standard, you get warped straight back onto the hill.
I swear I'll never get used to this.
Ah, you're back. Good to see you. So how was investigating?
We found quite a bit of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Well,
He looks
see.
at Senna. Well, you wanna do your thing?
Oh, I honestly, out of character, I thought we agreed that we weren't going to do that. Sorry, that's why I didn't say anything.
Oh.
Okay. So,
Well, if you don't know what you're gonna say, I know Lee knows what he's gonna ask.
Okay.
I don't know if any of you guys are gonna like it, but
Oh boy, here it comes.
So, we have another set of questions for Curtis, if that's okay.
All right, go ahead.
Thank you. I guess Fatima or Senna will take the lead in
Yeah.
interrogating. Okay.
So, could you tell us about your last time before that night at the school? What were you teaching? What were you learning about?
Nothing important. We had, I don't know, I think it was like science or something. Honestly, I kind of slept through it, but I think we were learning science.
Okay. What about? I don't know if this counts as biology or not. Technically, the study of the species is biology, right? Or is
In
it
a
also?
way. In a way, biology would count as that.
So, what do you think about biology?
Nothing much. It exists.
So, because we were talking, you were talking about what type of species were in the town, but you never told us what type of species were there. Like, you only said that there weren't any dragon types. Do you do you want to talk out a little bit about more of that, or?
What do you mean by more of that?
Yeah, like, I don't know. Is there like maybe an 8-bore that you have, or maybe I don't know what type of dragon types you may encounter or not. I personally don't know much of them because I haven't explored the world that much. I may know a couple few. Like, what are you most familiar with?
In terms of dragon types, I don't know. I think there's a Sligo around town. I guess he counts, I suppose.
Sligo, okay. That's from the Gumi family, right?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah. Listen. What about?
What about outside of town? Do you know of any dragons outside of town?
No. Why would I?
Well,
I don't
I
know.
suppose.
Maybe you just go. Maybe you just. I don't know. I mean, all we really have is that there's this dragon tooth, and maybe there are dragons in the surroundings of the village. Maybe they come into the village, and maybe someone got attacked.
Okay, so Lee, as you say this, the Minchino flinches and he has this 1,000-yard stare.
Detect emotions.
Okay. You detect emotions and... Oh, sorry about that. So, you use detect emotions and... you get that same sense of fear from him. That same powerful subconscious sense of fear.
Okay.
Are you familiar with any surrounding dragon types, like, I don't know, a Flygon or maybe Garchomp? Or is there like any and start listing different type of dragon types and to
He's gonna
see
wave his
if
paw in front of the Mizuno's face.
Okay, you wave it in front of his face and you get very little reaction.
and he would name a couple, like, I don't know, 6 or 7 types, and then he would say salamans.
Okay, that gets a sharp reaction from him.
Am I picking up any emotion? Like, is the sphere 9,000 right now?
Yeah, it's it's really, really prevalent in him, and he's sort of mumbling, Sal.
All right, enough beating around the bush. Do you know anything about a Salamence that could be around town?
He keeps repeating it over and over again with this 1,000-yard stare, and he just...
Guys, wait.
He's-
no.
Yeah, he's shivering, and it's... Like, it's clear that,
Lee's gonna turn to Justice and ask him the same question.
Guys, just stop for a minute. Give me a couple of seconds. She's gonna walk up to Clementino and hold to him by the shoulders and go, okay, Curtis, I want you to take a deep breath, calm down, and hear what I say. And in any time when I speak, you have to stop me on my tracks if I'm wrong, or if you want to intercede. Did I make myself clear?
it takes a moment for him to respond, but he eventually says, oh, okay.
We've done some investigating, and according to the clues that I have found, this is what we believe has happened tonight. As you stated, you decided to talk with your friend, whatever reasons that may transpire, maybe too personal to share. You had a small breakout, you had a small fight, and during that fight, a wild Salomon swooped in, attacked both of you, and somehow managed to knock you unconscious, and then he killed your friend.
So, as you're saying this, he's shaking again, shivering, and he says, we were warned, but who would expect they're there? And then he just lets out a piercing scream as he's holding his head.
We have
I
broken
thought
the
he was-
Cyclops.
We broke the Cyclops.
And
Okay.
after a moment, he's still holding his head, but he says, I remember it. While we were talking, I shoved him and he shoved me, and I saw it. It came from behind the blackboard. It was so large and scary, and he was going to attack me, but he pushed me out of the way, and then it with its tooth, and it was still in him, and I don't even know how I survived, but I just blacked out. It's so horrifying. It's so horrifying.
I'm terribly sorry.
Senna would try to have him basically speak to Justice and say, could you please take out his handcuffs so he's a little bit more comfortable?
I suppose so. And he seems to be he seems to have this face that here's our money. Shit, I fucked up face. And
You cut out and all of that.
Yeah.
Basically, did he realize that he messed up? Is what I got out of it. Is that correct?
yes. Oh gosh darn it. Why am I cutting out so much?
Well,
Anyway, so yeah, he realizes he screwed up pretty badly, and yeah, he does indeed uncuff him.
alright, as Senna is comforting this poor boy, Fatima is going to be all deep in thought and going like, there's one thing I just don't understand though. Why would the Salmons just run away after attacking? What happened to that thing?
Well, the newspaper said that feral Pokemon were going and attacking people. If it was feral, it really doesn't need a reason. It'll just do
Well,
it.
that's what I mean, though. Why would he attack someone and then flee? It's like,
It's no, that wouldn't make any sense.
I mean, if it really behaves like an erratic wild beast, I would only assume that something drove it away. Moreover, or
Maybe it just
Mis-
doesn't like Glam Meow.
Lee, look, the
He's smirking.
moreover,
I get
What?
it.
moreover, the fang that we presume is that of the salamanders is sort of polished, and our Mr. Justice here confused it for a spike. So why would it be that way?
You have a valid point with that one.
Well, it's not really polished. It's more like it looks more. It looks like it's yeah. It's not polished. I mean, it's obviously blood, so it's not polished.
Oh yeah, but you know, like it's being
Been
crafted.
modified, yeah.
It's being crafted into the shape of a weapon instead of looking like an actual tooth.
I'm not sure that it matters, but did Fatima ever do her emotion detecting thing when he had that the oh shoot look on his face?
No, she did not, as far as I'm aware.
Okay.
That's the thing. It doesn't really make any sense. If it was really the salamanders who killed the Glamia, then why did we find why would they find in the crime scene a tooth that has been reshaped into a weapon? Wouldn't it look like an actual tooth? If moreover, why was
If you're looking it a little bit too hard, like
I don't know. I feel like she has a point.
I mean, furthermore, if it was indeed the salamanders who killed the Glamia with a bite, how come the teeth just drop off the salamander's mouth? I mean, it doesn't look. She's gonna assume that Mr. Justice is whole.
Oh no, he put it away.
Ah, Mr. Justice, may I see the weapon once again?
I suppose.
Thank you.
And yeah, he gives you the weapon.
She's gonna inspect it to see if the quote-unquote weapon looks like damage bone, as if it was infected with some. Dang it, I don't know the name. in
Gangrene.
English.
No, that's for the gums.
Hmm,
Just some
Yes.
sort of necrosis.
Yeah, some sort of necrosis, or maybe some sort of.
It looked like it would have come out.
Some sort of tartar, I guess. No.
Oh, okay, I see what you're asking.
Yeah.
Okay, so, as you look over this tooth, you do see that there is some sort of, like, plaque on the, front tip, or not front, on the, larger side, like, not on the thin side, but on the, you know what I mean, right?
Closer to
Yeah.
the base of the tooth.
Yeah, closer to the base of the tooth, you do see that there's some sort of plaque.
Does it look like there's tooth decay?
Possible. It's hard to tell, but potentially you could definitely see that's possible.
Does it have any cavities on it?
If there is, then it's probably then the blood is probably covering it. But you imagine maybe, maybe not.
So it doesn't look like it's not in the most healthy of conditions as it is to be affected by wild Pokemon. But
Yeah,
not exactly.
The tooth does not look like it's healthy.
Yeah, but it doesn't look like it would just pop off immediately after biting something.
you're as you look at it, maybe, probably not. But at the same time, it doesn't exactly look healthy either. Like you don't imagine it pop off, but at the same time, it's sort of.
Yeah, it's not that it's not in the healthiest of conditions.
Does it
Fight
look
some-
cut?
Okay, let me jump in here, guys. So Lee is going to
I
walk
sorry.
over to Curtis and say, I know this is difficult to think back and remember, it was a traumatic event, but did you see how Kyle died? Did you see exactly what happened?
He pushed me away from the salamence, and then and he tries to think, and he says, "No, and give me a perception check."
Alright.
Am I picking any emotions with detect emotions?
Well, if you're using it, you can sense.
Yeah, I knew I was going to get at least one of these.
Wow.
Oh,
Okay. Nope, you don't see what I thought. Oops. Oh well. You with detect motions, you see confusion. Well, you sense the sort of fear, but you sense confusion, as in he's not entirely sure.
So he doesn't know, basically. As in
Yeah.
he's trying to remember, he can't quite remember. Okay.
Alright, now, when you woke up, was Kyle's body still there?
Yes.
Did you see... Was the only injury on his body the stab in his back, or I'm assuming it was his back, wherever the tooth was? Or were there other injuries as well? Did it look like he'd been chewed up
yeah.
or mauled or anything like that?
Yeah, that's another good point. Yes, if he indeed had a stab, then it wasn't the salamence who killed him.
It all I saw was the tooth lodged in him. That's it. I didn't.
On the back?
Yeah, through the back. There didn't look like there was anything else.
Officer, what about the...
Justice.
Yeah, officer, what
Is
about
it-
the crime scene investigation?
Oh, the crime scene investigation. The only injury was the tooth. It was basically it went straight through his heart. So
Yeah, that doesn't sound like something like a wild
Maybe-
salamence would do with clamping down its teeth. It doesn't make sense.
May I look back at the weapon?
yeah, I mean Fatima's holding it, so yeah, you can.
There you go.
Does it look like what does the base look like?
Base as in the toothy part, sharp part.
I think what he wants to know is if it looks like it's been snapped off or if it looks like it's been clean cut.
Yeah, basically
Ah.
if it looks like it's been cut.
Okay,
Well, I mean, it has been cut in a way. You know.
Yeah, but does
Well,
it look like
actually-
perfectly? Like
actually, the as you heard Fatima's noticed, it was sort of tempered and cut a little. You noticed that whatever was used to temper and sort of shape it into a weapon was also used to on the top.
So there's no way to know if the tooth was just cut in half, or maybe they just literally ripped it off. There's no way to know.
Yeah, so there's no way to know. All you know is that the top was sort of shimmied and crafted and cut using the same thing that sort of formed it into a weapon.
Okay.
Mr. Justice, were there any other? No, wait. You haven't. You do know about the reports regarding wild Pokemon from mystery dungeons getting out of those mystery dungeons lately, yeah?
Yeah, I've been informed.
Has there been any other previous reports in this village or in this vicinity?
Let's see. Well, nobody has gotten killed from any such thing, but there has been a few injuries from. See, I believe there was a Mightyana once. There was this feral. So he thinks, and he says, "Well, there's a Mightyana once, and there was someone got attacked by a feral sock once." Is there anything specific you want to know about?
You mentioned that there hasn't been any casualties, but there have been injured Pokemon, right?
Indeed.
Have all of these Pokemon showed the same kind of wound that our victim has, but not necessarily in a lethal way?
Wound? We don't know. Their wounds just sort of healed after a while. Are you saying someone's going around with that tooth and attacking Pokemon?
Well, not necessarily this tooth, but more so maybe scrapping parts of wild Pokemon from Mystery Dungeons, and I don't know.
Maybe someone's using these feral Pokemon attacking as a cover for whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
So, at that, Senna is going to ask Curtis, so let's be honest. Who was the idea to go back to the night at the school? His or yours?
It was mine.
And you knew about this incident beforehand, correct?
I did, but I just thought it was some stupid scare or something, and why would they attack at the school or anything like that? I thought it was just stupid.
That's odd. Aggie, didn't you find a newspaper on the desk?
Yeah, I did. Is there any? By the way, was this newspaper? It wasn't hidden in any sort of way, was it?
No, it was just in the desk.
Was it in one of the? Honestly, was it in one of the? Shall we say, of the students' desk or in the teacher's desk?
Students' desk. The teachers, which you imagine since you searched the school, there were 3 buildings up to the north where all the desks are. You imagine the teachers would probably store their stuff there.
Okay. That's what at least one of the students must have to know for sure, because we found a newspaper regarding this incidents around.
They the adults told us, but most of us just thought it was something stupid or something like that. None of us thought it actually mattered to us.
What about you, Mr. Justice? Was there any revelation, any kind of watching between you and your other forces during this time?
There's been a few patrols, but so far nothing's come up. At least nothing specific.
And were there a patrol last night?
Let's see, I believe the patrol last night was patrolling down south, I believe. At least at the time.
And who was in charge? Was it you?
It was not, no.
Where were you in that case at the time of the crime?
Well, I was. How do I want to put this? I was heroically recharging my back.
You weren't taking a nap.
No, I was heroically recharging my battery.
Which. Oh, never mind.
Hey, don't push it.
Did Fatima pick up something from anything?
Did I?
From him, you're picking up embarrassment.
From Justice. Okay, how about from Curtis?
Give me a perception check since you're focusing on Curtis right now.
Okay. Okay, perception check, let's go. Oh lordy. 14.
Okay, I'll let that pass. You notice Curtis keeps sort of rubbing the back of his head.
And do I get something from emotions? Is he embarrassed as well?
No. You're still getting from Curtis the that he is sort of confused and trying to figure out what exactly happened tonight.
Anything that you want to share, Curtis? You seem a bit, you know.
Seem a bit what?
You kind of reacted to this patrol thingy, I suppose. Did you and Kenny knew about this patrol? Did you sneak up to the school?
Okay, the patrol, it was, and he sort of mumbles, I think it was probably her father that was in the patrol, so...
Her father?
Nothing. Anyways, I don't think the patrol matters.
So, Mr. Justice.
Yeah?
What about your partners? Who are they? Like, can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Oh, well, technically I don't have any Justice first. But
you kind of cut it out in my end, sorry.
Gosh darn it, microphone!
Justice is blind.
You said Justice works alone in a boisterous voice, and gosh darn it, I'm connected to the eighth!
I mean, to be fair, like yesterday I could barely connect at all. Still, like...
God bless Ethernet.
But there are the Pokemon who are patrolling are residents of this village.
Are any of these patrolmen that reside in this village parents?
Oh, definitely. Why wouldn't there be? After all, wouldn't you want to keep your their feral Pokemon about?
Yeah, of course, but I mean, do any... okay, how do I put this? Who are these
Does
parents
anyone
exactly?
have a daughter?
Yes.
Curtis cuts you off and says, "No, nobody has any daughters or anything. No, don't stop."
Control. Detect emotions.
Okay, you sense embarrassment and fear.
Look, Curtis, we want to help you. Well, we have helped you. We've at least gotten you out of being arrested and tried for murder. But here's the thing. other Pokemon could still be in danger right now. There's someone out there stabbing Pokemon in the back, and really, you're the only lead we have. If there's anything you can tell us, you should tell us. If not for you, for anyone else that this Pokemon might be after.
It's not them. It can't be them. It's...
Who's them, Curtis?
Why do you guys have to do this? Fine, I'll talk. It's... And he's sort of taking a deep breath, and he says, there's a Trico girl in our class. Her father was on patrol last night.
I see. And
Sorry.
no, go
No.
ahead.
No, you go. No, you go. No, you.
I wanted
we
to
talk
make a
to
meta comment, but that's not the case. Sorry.
Oh, of course, a Trico girl. Yes, interesting. Anyways. And where might this Trico be right now?
At home, I don't know. She does what she wants. So it doesn't matter.
You don't know
Well,
that. You didn't see who killed her, Kyle.
You said it was probably a Salamence.
no.
And as he's saying this, you see that he's rubbing the back of his head again. And he's not rubbing it as in like he's sort
He's
of
not
like
trying to hide anything.
He's like remembering being hurt in that part.
I'm sorry,
okay.
could you? It's like, I'm sorry, could
Anyway,
you?
what were you going to say, Sonic Link?
Yeah, no, that's basically like it seems like he's instinctively reaching back there whenever he talks about that night.
This embarrassing matter, personal, that you're talking about before, is it related to this girl?
It doesn't involve her.
Why should it?
It's not. It's personal. It doesn't matter.
Can I butt in here for a quick second?
Please.
I think after hearing this going on back and forth one, I thought we just kind of take a sigh and just go, okay, this Trico, he's gonna look at Curtis and go, without, she's special to you, isn't she?
Okay. As you ask that question, he flinches.
Detect emotions.
Okay. Through detect emotion, you can sense. Yeah, you still got that sense of fear, but you can also sense the sort of bubbling in his heart that seems almost sort of like a crush. So in other words, you sense that even though he hasn't said anything, you can sense that what Augie said is true.
Alright.
Listen, we get why you wouldn't want to get someone like that involved in all this, and we're not trying to get her involved in this. But as Lee said, if there is any information helps us.
Fine. Okay, you want to know what we were talking about? Well,
It It was about her, wasn't it?
Let him talk, Fatima.
Right. Sorry.
Yes, it was about her. He knows I like her. But he's always been like, oh, you're the trouble. He likes me back. But he would never admit it. So he made, let's just say he made a lewd comment about her behind my back. Leave it at that.
Oh. I see.
And that's what we were talking about.
So that's all the involvement that there has to do with this girl.
Yes, it was nothing. She's not involved. Her father's not involved. Nothing involved. It's just the conversation. I told you, but of course you had to drag it out.
Are you previously before you said that you were the troublemaker and nobody really supports you much? What about this kind of parent? What was your opinion? What was his opinion about you and hanging out with his girl?
Well, duh, he didn't like me, but that doesn't matter.
Has he ever manifested to you personally?
Has he ever what?
Has he ever told you that?
Try almost every day.
Well, you certainly make it sound that, for being a troublemaker that nobody really appreciates, this girl may have some sort of relation to you, and then she does interact with you at the very least, so...
I suppose. But then again, I didn't want her to be involved with this.
Were you trying not her getting involved or protecting her?
You better not be insinuating that she had some.
We're not.
But what if I do?
God damn it, Senna! Cut that out!
I wanna see his reaction. That's it.
Okay, so he looks absolutely pissed at you. And he's turning his back on you in a huff.
Okay, look, sorry.
I'm not talking to you anymore.
So much for high charisma.
Mr. Justice, do you happen to know where this Trico family might live?
Oh, well, the girl, I'm not sure, but her father's probably at Kangaskhan's cafe right now.
Can we talk to him?
I suppose.
Well, we might as well go down there and check it out then.
Very well, then we shall go. Okay. So, you walk down, you go through the light and the small cafe area. Instead of the school this time, you see Kangaskhan behind a counter. You see tables to your left and right. There are a few Pokemon, none of them particularly relevant. And in the back, sitting alone, you see a Grovyle.
Okay,
So it's around the counter, up either the right or left steps, and he's back by a window.
Lee's gonna tap Fatima on the shoulder and just kind of motion that he wants to have a message conversation with her.
Yes.
Okay, so here's what I think we should do here. We should show him the knife, and you just pay attention to whatever he's feeling.
Noted. Anything else?
I think that's just the fastest way we can get things done here.
Alright, let's get going. Let's get going then.
Alright. Lee is going to approach the Grovile and say, excuse me, excuse me, sir.
Okay. The Grovile looks you up and down and says, "Do you need something?"
Yeah, we're looking into the murder that happened, was it last night? It was recent, in any case, of a glam meow named Kyle. Do you know anything about that?
Yeah, I heard Curtis did it.
Well, we have found substantial evidence that he has not done it.
Sure. Okay.
Detect emotions all this time. Anything that is juicy?
Okay. So, right now you sense anger a little, but it's sort of subdued and more focused on mostly when Curtis was mentioned.
Alright, so no substantial changes. Alright.
Yeah, you can tell he doesn't like Curtis, but that's pretty much all you got from that detect emotions.
Okay, I'll be doing that until I get some substantial change.
Okay.
Who has the knife right now? Is it Fatima?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Yep.
So do you recognize this? And then he gestures for Fatima to show him the knife.
She does as such. He hands the knife to Lee.
Lee holds the knife up.
Okay, Lee, give me an insight check. Fatima, I'll give you what emotion you sent afterwards, and as you showed him the knife, he,
Parser. Screw you, Parser. You just gave me a 1. Do you have to give me... Come on.
Parser doesn't like you.
You don't say.
Anyway,
Especially after how I was rolling last night. Jeez. I told you they were in cahoots.
that was sidekick, but still.
They're in cahoots, man.
Anyways, he looks at it and he says, "Why should I?" But Fatima, as you get the sense that as he looked at it, you felt a quick pulse of what do I want to describe it? You felt otherwise. You felt a quick pulse of recognition. Just a quick one, but...
Okay. Well, if I may speak up, sir, Mr. Justice has told us that you were on patrol that same night.
Yeah, I was patrolling the south. Your point?
We might wondering if you have perhaps noticed any suspicious activity.
Over down south? Not really. It was a pretty quiet night.
Something to report, I suppose. Let's see.
Or at least it was supposed to be until, that happened, but... Or at least in my patrol, it was pretty quiet.
That is
Did
you...
Sorry.
Oh, okay. Oh, Jesus. That is certainly strange, however, because if our findings are correct, we have found out that at that same night there was a wild salamence rampaging through town, at least on the school.
Wild salamence.
Well,
Yes.
a feral one anyway.
Well, yes, from a mystery dungeon. I've heard about the incidents lately, right?
Yes, I've heard of them.
Any substantial changes with the
When you mentioned the instance, you got a pulse of, and again, this is just a quick pulse. As you mentioned the internet. As you mentioned the incidents, you got a pulse of what you could feel like sort of the, I want to say pulse of adrenaline, quite an emotion, but sort of the emotions that would usually cause it.
Okay.
So the thing is, look at this, and he shows him the knife, and he says, "This is a tooth of some sort. It's got, what did you say, Fatima? Some sort of, like, it makes dragon type attacks stronger."
In a way, yes. It's tooth specifically to hurt dragon types more.
So the thing is, this tooth has been sculpted, and I'm pretty sure that teeth don't come out of the mouth sculpted. So yes, it seems there was a salamence there last night, but we don't think that the salamence did this.
It just doesn't make any sense. According to Mr. Justice, the victim Kyle only had one single stab wound that caused his death, but he was actually chewed down by a dragon. He would.
And you're asking me all these questions because
you were in charge of patrol.
Do I notify any difference in his emotions with these new data?
Okay, so as he was asking you guys what your point was, you can sense that he's sort of wary of you.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, so that's the only substantial change.
Yeah. Your point being what? Yes, I was on, but it happened while I was down south. So
Was anyone else on patrol with you?
No, it was just me.
So you can't substantiate that claim that you were on patrol in the south.
Outside of the fact that nobody saw me crossing through town after I went down south, no.
He looks at Fatima.
I don't sense any significant changes as of right now.
He's not getting nervous or anything.
I'm gonna message Julie. He doesn't seem nervous at all.
Nope. All you could sense is that he's.
Well, yeah, I convey that information that he's acting suspicious. He's worried.
Well, it just seems to me that it doesn't add up. A feral Pokemon wouldn't use a crafted knife, and how do I want to put this?
Let alone rip one of its own tooth to then craft a knife to kill someone.
Basically, it seems like the salamence was framed. We are basically looking for anyone that could possibly have tried to set this up, and we really don't have any other leads.
Exactly, what to be someone strong enough to probably rip off this tools from the elements, or maybe break it or cut it.
Either that or more likely they already had the tooth to begin with.
That is true.
Lee's gonna look at this Grovile and try to gauge his socioeconomic status.
Give me a check, I guess.
Does he look like he'd have anything worth stealing?
On him right now? No.
Okay. So what are you asking me to roll then?
I'm asking you to roll perception.
Go for it.
What the heck?
Oh my lord.
I pictured the children.
Can I
That's almost a shiny right
try
there.
rolling with sidekick to see if it's rigged?
No.
Screw that. I'm gonna do it anyway just to see what sidekick has to say.
Sidekick is irrelevant right now.
I know sidekick is irrelevant, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Just to make
yeah.
myself feel better.
Yeah,
I mean,
you
you could get a shiny out of it.
you look over him and he has really any socioeconomics. Yeah, you don't really see anything that suggests he's rich or anything. Sort of like the Machino, you can only maybe guess that he may be lower middle class-ish.
Sidekick is pleading the fifth.
Cool.
Could you, meanwhile, as they talk about everything mentally, then I would just ask, so could you tell us something about the victim or the suspect? Anything?
Well, the suspect is unless you're talking about Kyle, if the suspect is a wild, there's not much I can tell you about them. They're just wild Pokemon. Probably came from, I don't know, Glittering Mountain or something.
And what about Kyle and Curtis?
Well, I'm gonna be frank. Those two are fairly... How do I want to put this gently? Curtis is untrustworthy and Kyle is... Curtis is untrustworthy and Kyle is... I'll just say I don't want to speak ill of the dead, but I don't have much nice to say about him. How about that?
They didn't seem particularly close to each other, and yet they went to talk about personal matters in the middle of the night or private. You don't suppose you might have an idea of why would that be, right? Do you happen to know if they had any sort of, not really a relationship, some sort of, no, I guess camaraderie would be that. Do you happen to know what was between those two?
Okay, he says, no, nor do I care. But, yeah, as you're detecting his... You can sense heavy amounts of anger from him.
From both? As in when talking about...
Yeah, when you mentioned what they might have went over to talk about, he said no, but you sensed a heavy amount of anger from him.
What's the relationship with you and your family? What's the closest thing about them?
I don't understand the point of these questions.
Basically what we're getting at is we already know why they went to talk. And we have a suspicion that you also know why they went to talk.
And I would know why because...
Because it involves your daughter.
Okay. As you say that, both the feelings of wariness to you guys and his feelings of anger both increase.
Oh lordy.
And this is not in character. I'm asking you, the DM. You said that it was Kyle that made the comment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was Kyle who made the lewd comment.
And Kyle wouldn't have said anything to make you particularly upset toward him, would he have?
I don't see how this matters.
I think you do.
Are you trying to say something right now?
Well, currently, well, alright. I think you've already got it figured out, so I might as well just come out and say it. You're our only other suspect.
Your point being what? Do you have proof on me?
Lee thinks for a minute.
Fatima will message on Lee and going like, I don't think we have hard proof to pinpoint, anything in this guy. I mean,
Yeah, not really, but he does have a motive.
well, yeah, that's for sure, but we can't really prove without any evidence.
See, if law enforcement was competent around here, they would have dusted for paw prints, but apparently we can't expect too much out of them.
Yeah, I know.
Any paw prints that would have been on this would be long gone by now, but,
Well, if you're done, I'd like to get back to my meal in peace.
Alright, so are you going to do anything to maybe help find who actually murdered Kyle? Or are you just going to sit here, have your meal, and then go back about your merry business?
It was either Curtis or his salamence. I don't care which.
Well, it wasn't Curtis. We already figured that out. And
Wait. Who told you it was a salamence?
Yeah, that's true. We never.
We never mentioned what Pokemon was the fair one.
He's silent, and that for a moment.
Emotion.
Okay, so you send from him. You can sort of get a oh shoot sense. So for the first time, you actually genuinely nervous.
Okay.
You let me slip there?
Well, that's what Fatima senses. She hasn't conveyed.
Yeah, I know. It's like, my partner does have a point, but did mention there was a rampaging Pokemon that night. But we never mentioned it was a salamence.
Yes, but that tooth that you were showing me was Salomon's tooth, isn't it?
And how would you know it is a salamence?
yeah,
It
it
looks-
has been carved and modified, and Lee says that while looking over the tooth.
It looked identical enough to an Iron Spike that was able to fool an actual, the guy that was supposed to be able to take care of this.
You could have just... Honestly, you could have just... Honestly, there's not a lot that can fool that guy.
Well, true, but
My point exactly. In any case, I knew it was a salamence because that's... Yeah, sure, it's slightly modified, but it's still a salamence.
What's Fatima getting?
What am I getting?
Still, you're still getting nervousness. It's clear he's trying to While you don't have any proof of it, it's clear that he's just trying to talk his way through this and try and think of whatever BS he can in order to get out of this.
He's gonna look
So
at Fatima, see if she's getting anything.
I'm going to message. She's definitely trying to hide it.
Do you think we should just bring it up to him and confront him? Let him know that you've been reading his emotions this whole time?
I could, but we don't have any hard proof to, actually show Mr. Justice that he did it. It doesn't mean a lot unless we can really prove it.
Did he recognize the knife? He never told me anything about when he recognized the knife. Or when we showed him the knife.
Well, he did recognize that it is the material that it's made of, but that's about it.
No, I said when he showed him the knife, not that he recognized the material, just that he had a pulse of recognition for the knife.
He denied it though when we first asked him about it.
Yeah.
So basically just Fatima tell Lee that he recognized it but denied it. Yes or no, Alex?
I mean, I'm sorry. I got sort of my mind's about to explode right now. Ugh.
Did Fatima tell Lee that this Grovile recognized the knife, but he
Yes.
denied? Okay.
She told them that he definitely had a feeling of recognition, but he denied it. But then again, we don't have proof.
Time to play bad cop. Alright. Lee slams his paw on the table and says, "Okay, listen, buddy, we know that you're hiding something. You know that this knife is... You've seen it somewhere before. You know what it's from."
Point being what? I still don't see proof.
He looks at Fatima and then he looks back at the Grovile and says, "We know you're lying to us. You said you didn't recognize the knife, but you did."
Well, we don't have any hard.
Hush, Fatima.
I didn't. Yes, I noticed it was made from Salaman's tooth, but no, I didn't recognize it because I hadn't seen it before.
Well, then what was that flash of recognition you had? Alright.
If I may ask, Mister, what do you do? What is your job in this village other than patrolling for the sake of these incidents? I mean, outside of that.
Black. Well, so he said blah so almost instantly, but then
Oh, I thought you cut out for a second.
no, that was actually intentional.
Yeah, I'm going to say that the most. Yeah. Okay.
I wanted to ask it like 5 minutes ago,
Yeah.
but you keep talking.
You're a coordinated group.
I kind of feel the same way, but let them have the moment.
Yeah, but it's you were talking about you two, and I literally can't do anything.
Well, then say something.
Never mind.
Okay, so I didn't catch what he said.
He basically started saying blah, blah, and then he stopped, and I believe Senna said blacksmith out loud, so she would actually be familiar with this, so she could probably make that insinuation. So we'll start from there.
Detect emotions.
Okay, fine. Blacksmith. Yes, I'm a blacksmith.
So you have the ability to create this type of knife if you want to.
You do have the tools for it, yes, and also the expertise, apparently.
Maybe I do, maybe I don't. Point.
What do you mean you do or you don't? Are there any other blacksmiths? Any other Pokemon with any competence in blacksmithing in this village?
There are not! You
Thank
hear
you, Mr.
Justice suddenly say.
Thank you, Mr. Justice.
Well, just because. Besides, you don't know that tooth didn't just come like that.
You're kidding me. There's no signs of. This looks super polished. This cannot be a tooth literally ripped like this.
I
What sort of materials do you use in blacksmithing?
metal, mostly.
Mostly. Do you use any others?
Occasionally, I use other hard materials, but
Like enamel?
I never. I mean, would you use random tooths for stuff?
Well, you see, the thing about this particular sort of tooth, I mean, it's pretty valuable. It would probably sell for a pretty penny, and if you were to make something like a knife out of it, it could probably be sold for a lot of money.
Not to mention, this tooth, I believe, has some special properties regarding dragon slaying.
I mean, if you were to frame a dragon, why not use a dragon's tooth?
And you can really tell he's grasping at.
I mean, I would ask for questions, but I can pretty much imagine what's going on, so.
Okay, and as he's saying this, you hear Justice say, "Gabriel, that's enough." Oh, what do you want to say now, Mr. Justice? Gabriel. It was you, wasn't it? So you're on their side now? I was waiting for one of you to try it. Waiting
sorry.
for one of you to say something.
Sorry.
I thought you were having a discussion between NPCs, sorry.
Yeah,
I mean,
Yeah.
I was, but then I paused for the sake of you.
We
I
were
mean, I
expecting
don't-
a monologue or something.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know if there's literally you can add on here with that kind of interaction.
I mean, besides Lee saying, "Officer, book him," or something like that, but
Yeah, but that's something when you say, at the end of the monologue.
That's the one-liner.
Yes.
You are correct, Gabriel. We don't have any. However, let's say we were to investigate your home, and let's say we find leftover enamel. What would you say to that? I'd say I'd and yeah, you can way you can
cut out.
Yep.
oh, for the love of Why is my internet doing this right now? I'm literally... Okay.
It's spreading.
It's spreading.
Yes, the internet demons. So, Fatima, as he's sort of squirming, you can sense that his fear is basically at an all-time high. He knows he's caught, he knows he's caught, and he's trying to find anything he could say to get out of it.
Am I sensing any emotions that he might try to... Is he too high on adrenaline and he might attempt to run away?
Is Senna
Senna would
detecting
like to-
hostility?
Yeah, but at the same time, Senna is going to try to say, so now, Mr. Gabriel, do you want us to do the thing in public? Or maybe in a more private place that your daughter wouldn't see you here in this situation?
Well, okay, first things first, to answer your two. Yes, Fatima is sensing that running away certainly on his mind, but no, Senna's not sensing hostility. In fact, Fatima can also sense that he's aware that if it went down into a fight, he would have no chance of winning.
Okay then.
I don't. Eddie, he rolled a 19, perfect.
I was gonna say to hold an action, but okay.
He, just breaks the window and rushes out.
Frost, can I attempt to shoot him as he tries to run away?
Yeah, give me an attack roll.
Shoot it down.
What, did you expect me to not have you make it
Well, I mean, that's why I'm gonna say hold action just in case, as in, if he tries to run away, pew pew to the ground. But fair enough. Let's see. Jesus, this mouse I swear. Attack roll, please. Oh wow.
Yep, okay. That hits. Roll damage for posterity, but I know you did that specifically for the speed.
Yeah, basically, well, that and, maybe because he's a grass type. Oh, that's a lot of damage.
Good point. So, yeah, roll damage and then...
Weakness damage, that would be 3d4?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I meant to say, like, maybe the pain would make him, like, roll to the ground or something like that, but fair enough. That too.
Anyways, roll damage and then roll weakness.
And Lee's gonna tell Aggie to jump on.
Okay.
Are we rolling initiative now?
Ooh. Okay, so I did
Okay.
14 damage.
You shoot your through the window after him. You hit him as he's falling to the ground, and he is basically knocked prone and lying down there. He's not knocked out, but he's prone and on the ground.
Lee's gonna tell Aggie to grapple him. With vine whip or something like that, with the vines.
Can I do that?
You would have to get close to him, but yes.
Well, the
Can I
vines
jump?
reach 10 feet. Surely he could just reach out the window with the vines and wrap him up.
Can I jump through the window?
Let him look cool while doing it.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead. Jump through the window and then grapple him. Give me a strength check. Let's do a strength contest.
Oh, this is my speciality, boys.
Not one.
Why do you want in that one?
No, I'm just saying that's what he's gonna get because we need something good right now.
Alright. Statistically, though, I'm not even gonna say
Just roll
anything.
Well, it's athletic specifically.
Just give me a
That is
second.
true. Oh, yeah, gosh. Oh, lordy.
You're looking to pass 9.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
He just body slams it.
Yep. So Augie just jumps out the window and just both with his arms and his vines just wraps the Grovile and basically hold, and the Grovile isn't going anywhere.
I like to think that he might have done this at some point because of his mercenary work.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Mercenary skills coming in clutch.
And
Like, I think for flavor, like he specifically tied the vines like as like around his arms. You know, he put them in like the handcuff position, and you know,
Oh, go for the hog tie, man.
hog tie.
well, it appears justice has been. And Justice floats down, and thanks to your grapple hold is able to get there and cuff the Grovile. Gosh darn it, of course this would happen, of course.
If it weren't for those meddling dimensional travelers.
If it wasn't for those metal-like interlopers.
Dimensional what? Never mind. Fine. You want a confession? Yes, I did it.
Can his daughter be right next to him and he said it without notice?
She was like, hey, outside the building for some reason.
Currently you do not see any random...
Hey, that would be hilarious.
Frick. Well, what? Also kind of depressing for the father. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a fine.
She'll find out soon enough.
Yeah, sure. But I don't understand. Why would you do that over some? Well, I mean, I get the motive. It seems so petty to kill someone out of some derogatory comment.
It wasn't derogatory. It was more of a, let's just say, it was a threat of an activity, shall we say? And I'll leave it at that.
Say no more.
You cannot be okay. Jesus. What are they teaching kids these days?
In any case, I wasn't interested anywhere near my daughter, and when the Salamence attacked, I saw a chance and took it. We'll say it was fortuitous timing, and honestly, I would have done it again to keep that creep away from her.
I'm terribly sorry.
Doesn't matter now, I'm caught. I guess I won't be seeing any of you again.
You won't be.
No.
No one will be seeing anything of us ever again. Actually, I'm assuming. What?
No,
It's not gonna matter to them.
Well, yeah, but
So, officer, is there a reward?
Indeed, there is. First off, should you desire, you may keep that dig. And second, he pulls out a... This is the promised item. I'm not certain how, but surely an orb that glows like this must be quite a bit.
Oh, it's worth plenty to us, believe me. Let's just try not to sell it this time.
Father was just going to look away and not say anything.
Okay, he tosses you the orb. Who's gonna catch it?
Lee.
Okay, Lee, you catch the orb, and the usual happens.
So
You-
we are in treasure room.
Yep, you are in treasure room.
For Pete's sake, that was harder than it needed to be.
Have I told you guys how I hate this game?
Yes, yes, you have, Santa.
You have.
Am I wrong though?
No, not really.
No.
Okay, just checking out.
So what chest are you going for?
And who should? The chest.
Yep,
Aggie, you were pretty cool jumping out of the window like that. You go ahead and pick.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Oh, yeah, really? You don't. Well, okay then. I guess. And he's gonna walk over to the chests, and the types of chests were sword, wand, cup, and money, right?
Yeah, sword, wand, cup, and coin.
Okay. Let's got a weapon. I'm gonna go for the wand.
Okay. This is actually interesting. So, you open the wand chest, and while you don't get any item, you sense that you are able. And this is actually funny because you just did this. You sense that you are able to be more athletic. In other words, you either gain proficiency in athletics, or if you have it, then you gain double proficiency in athletics.
So I have expertise in pinning things to the ground now.
Yep, you now have expertise in athletics. Only you, since you're the one who opened.
Okay then, so that's like proficiency times 3? Or,
Two.
No, not
Times 2.
Times 2, sorry. I forget it's I can't math.
Yep, and afterward, it's a room.
Cut out.
Does
Yeah.
yeah.
The door opens up, letting you back in the room.
Does the main room still look like a creepypasta?
Well, I did just say back into the creepypasta room, so.
Well,
Oh,
the cutout didn't say that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Gosh darn it. Yes, the room still looks like a creepypasta.
I kind of want to mention, by the way, as they come back to this room, Agi's kind of looking almost lost in thought right now, sort of. You can tell he's distracted by something. I didn't say I wanted to say that.
What's up, Aggie?
Mhm.
Huh? What? Sorry,
Come on, Aggie. We just interrogated a whole bunch of Pokemon. Do we really have to interrogate you too?
no, I'm.
Fatima
I
pull out the emotion thing.
Oh yes. Detect emotion. Let's go.
You're lucky that thing is a cantrip for you.
Yes. So, what do I get?
Okay, you get the feeling he's he's almost feeling slightly confused by something. Like he feels yeah, just generally confused.
He's just gonna shrug and start walking towards Leon's shop.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess we might as well.
Okay, so as you enter Leon's shop, you see that it's still enclosed, but it has a very it sort of has the similar aesthetic to the hill with the tree, where it's like grassy, like you know how some of those rooms have like painted on skies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Looks sort of like that. It's got a green floor and it's got a painted on sky on the walls. Welcome back.
What's up?
Hi.
Hey,
Hey.
Well, that was quite interesting door, I suppose.
could have been worse.
Indeed.
I guess that
You could have
village
ended up.
wasn't that serene.
Indeed, you could have ended up you could have ended up in many other situations, but you kept going and you managed to find the truth in the end. Instead of waiting and letting falsehood take hold of you.
What happened to Curtis in the end, if I may ask?
Nothing quite as glamorous as you might believe. In the end, his he, as you can imagine, with the culprit found, set free, and due to the allegations being false, his reputation shifted slightly.
Hmm. Well, I guess that's good to hear. And that girl, she didn't suffer from any damage now that Kenny was gone, right?
She, well, she took her father being, about as well as you can imagine, but she did eventually recover emotionally.
Hmm. I see. There's
Well,
mm,
that's parents can't be great at all. I'm glad that she's okay, but
mm,
what could have been said that triggered that type of reaction?
I will answer that with don't want to know.
I'm glad I never had parents to have to deal with.
well,
He flinches a little bit.
same. There's one more question I had, though it's unrelated to the door, but I I suppose I might as well ask it now. What you told us about Leon before, how he's doing all this because he too lost someone important to him. You thought that I might turn out like him, right?
The possibility certainly crossed my mind tonight. You and Leon, you share many similarities, though he was not as reserved as you. Your life's journey has taken you to very many similar places.
Mm, I I see.
Though who can say for certain whether perhaps you would have recovered, perhaps not. Only the shadows of her fate know the truth.
Mm, well, maybe we can talk it out of this instead of just straight up fighting. It just seems unlikely.
I cannot say, in all honesty, whether you will succeed or not. In his despair and his anger, both of them were quite powerful within his heart when he left this trial.
Well, I just know I've got a few choice words for him.
He, because he was unable to change his fate, he fervently believes that those who go through this should not change other worlds' fate as well. But what do you think?
I think he's got something else coming to him.
It
I don't quite understand what is this logic of his.
it could just be pettiness, honestly.
No,
I
yeah,
mean,
I don't understand what's the logic of any of this.
I imagine when this is over, we might get some answers at the end of it.
Maybe we
that's
can still talk afterwards.
that's something that I've been wondering honestly regarding the end of this. Like, hopefully, once we're done with this, I don't mean to sound greedy, but there's one question that I have regarding the wish thing.
You may ask whether I will be able to answer it or not. I cannot say, but you may ask, and perhaps I can answer it, perhaps I cannot. But if it is within my capability, I will answer.
So, how to put this in words? By the way you make it sound like, as in that we could get any wish, it would seem that your master, shall we say, has no limitations regarding wish granting, does he?
An interesting question. How shall I put this? It is less that he has, but more that. Hmm. Let's just say that there are many Pokemon whose wishes you have granted, and I shall leave it at that.
Okay.
Your master is a Pokemon, right?
To you, he would more than likely yes. And that is the only important thing.
Does he have many images like you have? You told us before that you aren't here at all, or you can't see what we see, or something like that.
As with the state of this room, state of my master is dependent on those who come. As you are Pokemon, you will see him. But if you were something else, then perhaps he would be a Pokemon, perhaps he would be something else. You cannot say,
what is there besides Pokemon?
isn't that quite the interesting question? But that is all I can say on the matter.
Hmm.
Now then, is there anything else you wish to know or wish to do?
Well, guys, how do we wish to proceed?
Then I would like to see the cards and see if anyone has changed or not.
So you're gonna take a glance outside?
Yeah.
Yeah, Lee's gonna do that too. He's gonna see if, specifically, if the two cards that we've completed since the room became creepypasta have the rim or the borders around them, or if they failed to develop borders.
Okay. So you go out there, and you probably have to go pretty close to how the room is messed with and stuff like that. But it's fate, but you do notice that it still does have the golden borders around both the cards.
All right.
But the others are still like dull and
Well, I
almost
mean,
black.
they do. I'm
All
pretty
of
sure.
them are dull.
Yeah, all of them are dull, but you sort of just barely notice.
The border.
Hmm.
Lee's gonna go back and ask Leon. So these borders, are they just so that we know that we've gone through the doors or not? Is there any significance behind them?
85 gold.
I guess that means there is something important about them.
Well, we do spare if you do want to, ask.
We can sell another orb. It's a good joke.
Lee glares at her.
I think that's I don't think we should do that.
Can we just put them in the
Lee,
door?
Lee holds up the knife and says, "How much is this thing worth?"
Oh, interesting. That's quite a valuable item. I'd say I will pay 350 gold for it.
He looks at everyone else and says, "What do you think? We sell this thing?"
I can't see myself using it.
305. I mean, I
I
guess.
mean, it does more effective damage to dragon types. We
Well,
might.
yeah, but we have a fairy type on our team.
Still, it's.
Lee's
I
gonna
guess
check it out a
no.
bit more. Can you tell us how much damage it does?
Indeed I can, and basically I'm not going to bother saying that. Basically it has +1 to attack rolls and damage rolls, and it would deal super effective damage against dragons, and otherwise it would deal acid damage against other creature types. So it deals dragon types against dragons, and then it would otherwise deal.
And its attacker, so it's just 1d4.
Yeah, it's just 1d4.
I can't see this thing as being too useful to us, and quite frankly, we can't bring it with us anyway. So I'm saying we sell this thing. What do you guys think?
Agreed.
Yeah.
Lee's gonna hand it over and say, "Take the 85 off of this."
The lengths people will go for their curiosity.
You're the
Very
one hiding
well.
You're the one hiding the information behind a paywall.
Very well. He takes the 85 gold and says, "Yes, it is significant."
Lee just
That's
kind of
it.
Lee just kind of
That's
looks
it.
at him.
Like, yeah, but it's significant in what way? Is it? I don't know.
You better
it's-
be joking. Come on.
You asked, I answered.
Well, what is the significance behind these things?
Are there
Why-
any colors? What the other colors means?
300 gold.
He just walks out of the room.
And then I will just, Leon, I usually support you, but not today.
Leon.
Or this time, or whatever. And she will just motions everyone to the door and said, "Let's just put every or in it and get going."
He's gonna take the rest of the money. He's just gonna angrily take the rest of the money. Then he's gonna say, "Leon, I've still got a wish to make, and I am not completely decided what I'm going to do with it yet. Just keep that in mind."
Whereas Fatima is just going to see this spectacle, not really mad, or angry, or confused, just kind of shocked and just like, ah, we're leaving.
Okay, so you go up to the judgment. You put the orbs in, and you click. The doors themselves don't open, but as you sort of feel them while you were putting the orbs in, you push them aside now.
Okay, that's
All right.
enough.
Orbs out of the inventory.
Well, guys, we did it.
I guess technically we can just go whenever then.
Well, yeah,
Let's.
but,
Are you really gonna let this punk try to undo everything that we've done?
Oh no!
No,
think so.
no. I don't
All
think.
right.
I won't let him kill my cousin.
Didn't think so. All right. Do we want to do the customary unveiling of the next door, or do we just want to go through this Darkrai one?
actually, I was about to ask if any of
All
you
right.
things.
The
I was
long
about.
rest.
Well, yeah, I was about to ask if any of you are tired. I'm not, just I don't know. I kind of. I'm sorry. Just I kind of need time to process some things. I suppose.
Yeah, I'm a little tired as well.
I still have plenty of fight in me.
You're really gunning for your door, aren't you?
Well, I mean, I didn't say that, but I would like to see what's behind it, yes. I have a feeling whatever's behind it, it's going to be something I'm going to want to punch, so.
I mean, I can relate to you there.
Careful
Do
with
you
what you
think
wish.
that we are ready for that door?
Careful with what you wish for, Lee.
Also that.
Oh, I already know what I'm going to wish for.
I,
Well, I don't know about that. I mean, I do kind of want to get back at that shopkeeper right now, but
Lee, I was being metaphorical. I meant about your door.
I knew what you meant.
Let's just open another door and then we decide.
He's going
Okay.
to chuckle and walk up to the next door in the line.
Okay. Oh shoot, I closed. Oh, whoops, wrong notes. Okay, so here we are. You open the door and what you see is a dagger lying down on a wheel, and the dagger is pointing up.
Gee, I wonder which
Fatima,
one this one is.
yeah, Fatima, give me your usual art.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can figure out which one this is, but whoop. Okay.
Ooh, okay. So, what you know is that you know this, or sometimes known as the Wheel of Fortune.
Will! Oh, fuck!
He said it. He said the thing.
You know, the worst part is I should have realized you.
Also, what was the card called, by the way? You cut out when
Wheel
you
of
said
Fortune. Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah,
it. No, before that.
Fortune. It's called Fortune. Otherwise, sometimes known.
The Wheel of Fortune, yes.
That's my way to spell game show.
Oh,
Okay. Anyways, you know that that card is it's a representation of fate, how it sometimes changes, how it sometimes can go up, go down, shift, and turn.
and it's upright, right?
And it's upright. Yep.
Okay.
Lee's going to
That's all.
stand there and look at it. Nah, I'm not feeling anything. Let's go to the other one.
Like now?
You're the first person I think out of all of us that actually wants to go through their door.
Lee just kind of shrugs.
Okay, so you're gonna walk up to the store.
To the moon, yeah.
Oh,
That's
Oh,
a
you're
wonderful
going-
game.
you're
Well, I
going
mean-
to.
Yeah, we're going to the moon. We don't know what's behind this one. We don't know exactly what's behind the moon. I mean, may as well just finish up the gap in the completed doors and get a nice line going.
Okay.
I really want to make it to the moon reference here, but I don't know how.
Well, I mean,
Okay, so you open up the door and walk into the moon. I walk through the moon door, and that's where we'll end it off.
I am sorry. And I know we're ending it here. I'm not gonna. I just want to. I know I keep doing this. I'm sorry. I just want to mention, as everyone walks in the door, Agi sort of takes a second before he enters it to just think to himself, something other than a Pokemon. And then he's gonna shake his head and he's go, I'm thinking too hard about this. He's gonna open through the door, jump through the door, Okay. I just had to do. I wanted to do this little thing. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right, and yep, that will end us off. So, join us all next time since the dark break. Next Friday will once again be the C team. And 2 weeks from now, we will rejoin the Dark Heroes. So, goodbye, everybody, and thank you for coming.
See ya.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Well,